the Terrastruct tool. Terrastruct is a tool for diagramming for developers. It focuses on writing text. As you see here, this is the D2 language. You see you have network, cell tower, satellite, and then arrows to have arrows in between components. And then it would generate a diagram. Now you may ask justifiably, why do I need another tool? Don't we already have PlantUML, Mermaid JS, etc.? Why do we need another tool? So to that, I would answer first, not sure we do really need yet another tool for diagramming, but with that said, let's see what are the advantages of the Terrastruct and the D2 code that might make us say, yes, we do need a new one. So what are the advantages? The advantages is that it looks nicer. I mean, if you look at the generated components, the generated graphs, and the arrangement of the items from Mermaid and from PlantUML, it looks good, but you could sketch something better. So with D2, you get it's something that came afterwards, so it learned, right? This is what I estimate. It learned from the disadvantages of the previous tools. So what were the disadvantages of the previous tools? One is that it didn't look that good, right? It didn't really, you could not really trick it to have it your way. The second thing is that the language, it had all these small things that you could not do. I mean, here in Terrastruct, it's more flowing. Once you get the language, the language is more flowing. We'll also discuss the disadvantages. Also, what is the other thing that we needed from the coding textual to diagramming? Maybe something you want to just drag and drop, right? So this tool, the Terrastruct, supports both ways. You can do some coding, generate a diagram, and you can, with the Terrastruct tool, you can also add components and lay them out and have it automatically generate the code for you. So you could code, then move to diagramming visually with design, then move back to code and move back to design. This is the paid part. So Terrastruct is a paid product, but the D2, if all you're interested with is using the D2 language to generate diagrams, then this is free. This is open source. But if you want the both way, the two ways, and you want also some kind of a mini ID on the web, and you want to save the files, etc., then this is the Terrastruct. Let's click the pricing and see the pricing here. So we have here like Terrastruct bundle, 20 months per user or enterprise. So you see you have the diagrams that you create, but also in the open source you can create the diagrams locally. This would have feature complete GUI, unlimited diagrams, unlimited, and you have hand-drawn style, right? This is the big thing, the hand-drawn style. You can have both ways. Let's look at some examples and why did I also note here that it has 14K stars. So this is getting traction. I mean, Mermaid has its advantages. It is already bundled in many tools. If you look at Notion, if you look at Tripora, Mermaid is already bundled in there. You can generate diagrams. D2 is a little bit new. I think it's Terrastruct, so it's coming from the same company, the HashiCorp, that created Terraform. So let's read this a little bit. A diagramming tool for developers using general purpose programming. Tools feel like coding on Google Docs. D2 is a modern developer to power all of your visual documentation. Feel free. Feel the difference in speed, simplicity, and maintenance. We'll get most of this also with Mermaid. but you see that the diagrams actually look good. So this is some of the powerful. Also the syntax, I like the syntax. You can have A, arrow B, arrow C, and immediately you would have three components, A pointing to B, pointing to C. So it's a good tool. Text to diagram, bidirectional editing, auto format. The auto format is also good. So it's something good, and look at the diagrams, they really do good. I think it's going to be harder to get to the level of how this looks like. Also, you can have the ability to zoom into lower levels of abstractions from overviews. Define scenarios. You can also have, I think, mini animations with these scenarios. Let's look at this example, for example, to see what I mean with zooming in and out. Okay, so you see, so this is the Terrastruct UI. They call it the IDE, but this is the part that costs money. If all you do is have your if all you do is have your text to diagram, then it's free, it's open source. This is the D2 language. So already you see that once I hover over the items here, then this could be good for presentations. Then it emphasizes the things. Also, I can click something. Let's see if I can click it here, file bit, logs. Not here maybe, but it's like I'm zooming in, right? I'm zooming in right here, and now I'm zooming it into frame 2. So if you want to have all your diagrams with zooming in, with things that Terrastruct might be for you. Let's see if we can see here the actual syntax that they use to generate this. I would explain. This it's probably because this is the presentation view. This is not the edit view, that we can't really see the actual code. So let's go back. Terrastruct. See which are the other examples they have. 15,000 stars on GitHub, we already said. Custom layout engine, the layout engine is good. Let's see which diagrams they have. So we have the D2 language, and we have the D2 studio. Let's click the D2, not the D2 studio, but maybe the language. Okay, so we see first we have here a black background. So we have here logs. Right, where is the logs here? Oh, here are the logs. Shape page, and indeed it looks like a page. Style multiple true. Yeah, this is kind of the things that are interesting in this D2 diagramming. Style multiple true. And then you see these logs as multiple items. Good one. User shape person. So the shape of the user is a person, yes. Network. Tower, cell tower. So we have here a cell tower, and inside the cell tower, this is also nice. We can embed in items inside it. We have a satellite. Again, style multiple true, shape, store data. So the shape is store data. Then we have a bunch of arrows, and note how good this looks like. And we have here another component, transmitter. All these are pointing to the transmitter. Here again we have a style multiple for the database, shape cylinder, online portal, UI. And then we have some lines. Okay, let's see some other things. Production ready themes, sketch mode. This is what we discussed about, that you can drag and drop things if you want. You can also have some animations on this. Let's click this animation. D2 has built-in mechanism for you to compose multiple boards into one diagram. For example, this is composition of two boards. So you can create the two boards separately and then compose them. So we have this root board, X points to Y, X point to Y, layers, numbers, board named numbers that do not inherit anything. Okay. So now we have two boards, the root and the numbers. They cannot be visible at the same time, of course, so exports have to accommodate this diagramming. A layer represents a layer of abstraction. Each layer starts off as a blank board since you're representing different objects. Try clicking on the objects to explain. Now we have a bunch of layers. Okay, so we have a bunch of layers with names. Yeah, but it's just nested one inside another. Then they have the scenario. Scenario represent different view for the base layer. Each scenario inherits from its base layer and a new object added onto all objects in the base layer, and you can reference. Let's see this. So we have again direction right, title. This is title local, local code, GitHub master. And now we have here the scenarios. Right. What is this scenarios? Hotfix title. Not great explanation, I would say. We need to go over this. But in general, you get the hang of it. That you can draw, just like if you need a simple diagram, Mermaid, Plantubel could be good. If you want to use text to create diagrams that look some kind better, then D2 might be the thing for you. And they have many examples here. Yeah, so here it's also creating this animation steps. So this looks like some custom code that you can create inside it, so you will have steps. And this would generate this animation. Interesting. You can also link between boards. You have this special. So apparently these layers and also this link is reserved words that you can link into other layers. Yeah, so I get it. We get this. This is called D2Lang, which is the open source. So D2Lang is the open source, and you can use it, create text. Everything is free, tables. See, it looks really good. And if you want to use the Terrastruct, then this would be the part that costs money, where you also the big benefit there would be the ability to have a two-way design, from design to code and from code to design. So this was Terrastruct and D2Lang for diagramming for developers.